Happy evening, everyone. Great to see you all out there. So on this weekly Mind Connect, I still can see some people joining in. Um, little low attendance. I don't know. So nevertheless, I think people will join in as we are progressing through this session. And lovely to see all of you out there. I can see Abhijit ji, Vinay Dave ji, Sandip Keria ji, Harsha ji. Yeah, not many people. Thanks for your greetings. Yeah, Sadhun ji, good evening, Sitakan ji, Vinita ji, Rajiv ji, Amit Sinha ji, Abhijit ji. Yeah, Abhijit ji, one task is pending with me. I'll get back to you on that. Tejashwi ji, welcome, Pranati Mishra ji, thank you, Viju ji, hi. So let's get started. And as we are moving through this session, we are today starting a new small short series, and we are going to look at manifesting our dreams. That's what is the topic of today's session. And we are looking at it from two perspectives, as we discuss the quantum field perspective and how we actually can do it scientifically, how we can see that it happens. It's just not some esoteric or something mystical about it. The mysticism would happen differently, but we are progressing on a predefined path and we are making it happen. That's what we are going to do in this session. So great. So I can see, just before we start, let me share the screen. And also I would need your response regarding, can you see me? Can you hear my voice? And also the slide on your screen. All three okay? Just give that response. That would be of help to me. Yeah, yes. Thank you, Avijit ji. Thank you, Dr. Rajiv. Sadhun ji, thank you very much. All okay? Yeah, great. Pranati Mishra ji. Thank you, Dr. Mishra. Devashish Chakravarti ji, welcome. Great, thanks. So in today's session, as part of our weekly Mind Connect, we are again starting a small series. And this time it is about enhancing our productivity, managing our time, and taking charge of the tasks that or responsibilities that we have. So how to do it and how we need to progress. So let's let's start. As you might have seen in the topic itself, quantum transformation practices, that's what has been mentioned out there. Manifest your dream, part 1. And before I proceed further, let me tell you why we are calling it quantum transformation practices. What is the essence of it? And what does it exactly mean? I'm going to give you some idea. What exactly is this quantum transformation referring to? That's what we need to understand before we get into the process, before we are looking at how to manifest our dreams. So in order to understand that, we have to actually go into the real quantum physics realm. Quantum physics, which actually got surfaced in the early part of the 20th century. Around 1920s, 1925, 30s, that was the time when it was coming to surface. And unimaginably sophisticated brains who were involved in this whole process. Niels Bohr, Dirac, Werner Heisenberg, Pauli, some of the astonishing minds who were engaged, including Albert Einstein. So this was something which was coming, but there was a huge problem. I am narrating this because this is important and it has got a very interesting Indian connection. Huge problem. The problem was they were absolutely puzzled with the kind of phenomena they were observing in the quantum field. Typically, I would like to narrate one experiment, which is known as the double slit experiment, which is a very popular kind of experiment happening, and the enigma, the confusion, the whole, our ignorance about that still remains. Although we have progressed significantly in that scientific domain, but that ignorance still remains, is explained through some mathematical concepts. But let me tell you what is the problem, what is the confusion, why it was so confusing. They found, in fact, what they would do, in two slits, they will fire electrons and they will observe how the electrons are falling on a particular wall. We are not going into the technicalities. I'm just explaining what is happening. And electron being particles, they expected that in two holes, as electrons would pass, there'll be two spots where electrons will be giving some impression on the wall. The wall was a photosensitive wall, so they would know where the electrons are touching the wall. But unfortunately, to their astonishment, they did not find that. They found electron behaved as if it is light. Light gives a fringe pattern. We are not again getting into the technicalities or the physics of it. Light behaves like wave. As water flows through two gates, what happens? There are one wave going, touching the two gates, then they become two different waves and they cut each other. So similar patterns they saw in the other side of the wall. So they thought that yes, electron is actually kind of light, it's a wave. Then they did something different, because till that point in time they were thinking it is particle. So they wanted to see how the electron is going through these gates, these two slits, and they put an electron detector to know that how and which path electron is traversing through. And here came the miracle. The moment they tried to observe the path of electron changed. It became particle. The moment they closed their eyes, did not look at electron became wave. This was thoroughly confusing for everyone in those era. Every scientist, whether it was Niels Bohr, Dirac, or it was Werner Heisenberg, Pauli, everyone was thoroughly shaken, confused. Why? They were asking one question. How does the electron know that we are watching it? How come the electron know that when we are watching it and when we are not watching it? Is the electron conscious? That was the query in everyone's mind. Did you understand this? Say wow. In fact, this is still a wow. How does electron understand this, that we are watching it or not watching it? Now, if you actually study about the quantum, you will be thoroughly shaken, thoroughly confused. Absolutely, it's a weird kind of a space to be in. Just write wow, because it is still a wow. We still do not know how electron has consciousness, how electron understands that we are watching it or not watching it. We are an observer or not an observer. This is completely till date an unknown phenomenon. But in those era, it was Werner Heisenberg who said this is, he could not sleep. In fact, it has gone on record that Niels Bohr and Werner Heisenberg they lost their sleep. They said, what is this? Whatever we have learned about physics is not standing its ground now. And somebody, including Niels Bohr, said probably the Indians, the abstract minds, they have something about it. Somebody told Werner Heisenberg, why don't you go to India to find out their abstract philosophy, which they have? And as it has happened, Werner Heisenberg came to India. He came to India and he had discussion with many people, including Rabindranath Tagore. And this he had mentioned in his interview. You would love to read that book. The name of the book is Uncommon Wisdom by Fritjof Capra. Fritjof Capra is a theoretical physicist who has written few books based on how there is a confusion in quantum realm and how this has a very strong connection with the ancient philosophies, Eastern philosophies. The Tao of Physics is the book. His other book is The Uncommon Wisdom, where Werner Heisenberg has mentioned that he had come to India and he had a lot of discussion. Then he said, wow, how those people in the ancient time could appreciate the existence of quantum. There was something when he narrated that I didn't know that people have actually understood, experienced quantum within, because they have some sense about it. Otherwise, this clarity would not have come. And in 1973, that interview, he has kind of expressed that I owe my understanding of quantum to the Indian philosophies when I was discussing all those things with Tagore in those days. And what his foundational philosophy was, foundational theory of quantum is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. And he says it is nothing but an extension of the understanding I got from the Indian philosophies. Although he had done it before, but his understanding of it came from those understanding that the observer, the observed, and the observation is one and the same. And it is a field. Somebody has written it as waves. There is no matter. It is only a field where possibilities manifest when there is an observer, and possibilities are manifested by the observed, or the creator, creation, and the process of creation. They are not separate, they're one. And that is the quantum field. So that actually is a fascinating journey, fascinating story. So we all should be very, very proud that many of the seers, in fact, let's also appreciate this philosophy has not been confined to this land. Many places, if you look at many of these the people who were in the West, or who were in the Middle East, or who were here in India, they had an understanding at the experiential level, subjective level. But in India, what happened, they could document it and have examples to explain the whole philosophy. That was the difference. Otherwise, if you go through some of the ancient literature, even in there is somebody from Italy, I believe. So he was a mystic in the Christian Catholic area. He had clearly mentioned what the Indian philosophies has said. Go to Rumi, you'll find how clearly he has mentioned those philosophies inside. So it is appreciated by seers and mystics all across the world. But the great thing that was done here by many of the seers is it was documented and explained, which can be probably perceived by a few people. That's what Werner Heisenberg had mentioned in that. Yeah, philosophy meets physics. It's a fascinating science, and today there is a lot of research happening in this domain, including DOPS in Virginia University, including ions, many parts in the globe now it is happening. The perceptual studies are happening now. Yeah, absolutely. Jiddu Krishnamurthy was a super elevated brain who explained that very clearly. That's true. That's true. Still, we see that many of our ancient seers were, till this point in time, they were not appreciated ever. So now coming back to our understanding, implementation part. It is fascinating to learn a few things, but coming back to how we can do, what is the thing. When we talk about the quantum, we talk about two aspects. One is the energy. Quantum itself means quanta, which is packets of energy. So the energy aspect. And as we discussed just now, this energy also doesn't have an existence without something called consciousness. And in many of the philosophies in Indian part, this has been categorically mentioned, the existence of two, or at times it becomes one, right? Either it is the consciousness and energy, or sometimes it is one thing which manifests in two and then it becomes multiple. So we are talking about the quantum field at this point in time, where energy and consciousness, where for sure consciousness is there within us, for sure there is energy within us. And many of you who are already part of this community, we have been doing this practice every time that we are going through the meditative practices. What we are doing, we are getting deeper into an appreciation that we are a combination of consciousness and energy, incredible energy, expansive consciousness, which is all the time our companion. That's what we do here. When we say accessing the quantum field, I'm just giving a background of it before we get into the subject, manifesting the dreams. There we are going to actually, today we are going to do very practical, doable things which I'll ask you to do. But now I'll just give a brief background about why quantum is important to be juxtaposed into our practical activities. That's what I'm giving now. Then we are going to do what are the things that we are going to do in the manifestation part. So how do we access the quantum field? feel that existence of quantum, first we get to the E state, the alpha state. That's what we do. Whenever we do the practice session in the morning or sometimes in the evening, we get to the E state or the deeper alpha state, that relaxed state. Either you practice A, B, C, D, E, or we do other different practices like progressive relaxation practice or certain vagus nerve activation practice. We get into the alpha state in some form. After that, what we are doing is we are suggesting ourselves strongly that I have an inner source all the time present. Why? Look at the complexity. One human being, me here, I have trillions of cells out there, trillions of cells having millions of activities in every cell and interdependence with other cells. This is happening all through the life. Right from the time we have come to this existence till we exist, this is a continuum. Every moment, trillions of activities are happening without a miss. It is just happening to keep us alive till we are living. How is this a possibility? Whether we believe or not, for sure there is an energy which is doing all these things. There has to be an energy which is conducting everything. Without energy, we cannot even stand, because there has to be some energy, whether it gets converted from food or whatever. Even converting food to that energy is an energy. So there is an energy continually flowing within, which is doing all these things. And it is expansive because it is such a powerful energy. It can organize itself through all these trillions of activities with appropriate quantity of energy, appropriate quanta, appropriate element amount of energy needed for that. That's one. So what we call, feel that nature of energy, feel that energy present inside. All the time it's for sure there, and it's incredible. That is available to us every moment. That energy is there within. And we are telling our subconscious, believe this. You cannot just not believe this. It has to be. So you are absolutely safe in the presence of that energy. Number two, what we say, there has to be an expansive consciousness which can harmonize, organize, orchestrate all these activities happening inside. Tell me if it is not true. Tell me, can this be a possibility that trillions of activity in this body happening without some conscious intelligence and some energy present out there? Does it make sense? Please write amazing. We are amazing creatures. We are amazing beings. Just write AB, amazing beings. We are ABs. And when we are amazing beings, why are we crying? Why we are grieving? Why you are feeling so bad? We are by itself, by sheer presence on this planet, we are amazing. We are beautiful. We are absolutely incredible, because all the time, this incredible energy, this expansive consciousness, ocean of consciousness is present within our companion every moment. The problem is we don't recognize it. We don't connect with it. Quantum field accession is connecting with that. It is all about recognizing and connecting with this field. And there are systems, processes, which we have been doing also. So that's what we are. We have to anchor to that state of being. Every moment, this possibility is available to us. Every moment, the energy is in the background. Whatever happens outside, we just recognize I am incredible. Always there is a companion with me, which is incredible energy and consciousness. I just need to submit to it, connect to it, to get all the power I need to overcome the challenges of life, to overcome the difficulties of life, to create amazing things in the world. Do you know all the people who are extraordinarily creative, extremely powerful, extremely, they are in control. They can help or they can do something amazing. All these people have one thing in common, that they have access. It is the variation of the access that we have to this power. How we believe that we have, because all of us, to a certain extent, we are similar in terms of our structure and constituent. What is the problem? Our internal system of belief that what we can have access to, our internal impressions that we carry all through, which are many times they create blocks. All our diseases, all our problems are blocks created because of our wrong thinking or some wrong internal programming, some error somewhere. But at the outer set, at the deeper level, we see both at out and the deep level. All the time we have this energy and consciousness available to us. More and more we feel about this, more and more we are in command of this. Please do read few of the books I'm now suggesting you. I have already last time I think asked, and many of you have already put it in our Telegram group, have WhatsApp group. Please read those books. Evolve Your Brain by Joe Dispenza. Evolve Your Brain by Joe Dispenza. Wonderful book. Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. You can go through that book as well. Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. Even there is another book by Joe Dispenza, Being Supernatural. Being Supernatural. We are all supernatural. We are all having supernatural qualities, extraordinary qualities. We are ignoring it. We are not looking at it. We are lost in the outer world, and we are not looking at the power and the internal potential that we have. It is all about expression of that potential. More and more we harness that potential and express ourselves, we are better and better and manifest our happiest version. So Yash Strategy has a question, sir, what is the meaning of consciousness? If we discuss about consciousness itself, it's a vast subject, but let us clearly look at this. Yeah. One is, there are different layers of consciousness. One is, we say mind is conscious, right? So when we experience something, the experiencer is consciousness. So in fact, Yes Strategy is already part of us. Yes, actually, let me, since I just see you here, can I just have a personal talk with, just tell you something. Tomorrow we were thinking of having 12:30 as a one-on-one call, but there has something propped up. Actually, my son's admission, which was supposed to be done today, had to be postponed because of the Medical Council of Committee of India. So it has to be done tomorrow. So maybe we will have to have on Monday, if that's okay with you. Yes, Strategy, if you can just connect with us again, we'll just have to reschedule. At the same time, let me talk about the consciousness. Since I saw your name, I thought I'll forget before that. So thank you, Satyamji. Yeah. Wonderful. Sitakant Pandaji has also mentioned Evolve Your Brain and Being Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. Yeah. Now coming back, you can also one more book before I forget. Molecules of Emotion by Candace Pert. Candace Pert is a thorough scientist. She almost was about to get a Nobel Prize, who has actually, he's credited with discovering the opiate receptors. Candace Pert, the name of the book is Molecules of Emotion. It has also a lot of spiritual bent in that writing. Now coming back to the consciousness, which is put forward by Yash Strategy. So what I was suggesting is, the element in us which experiences things is conscious, right? Simplest of definition of consciousness, that each one of us, we experience something. Now I would urge you to please go through one practice that we do. We call it 5 sheath elimination practice, wherein we start my physiology. We can see our body, and body is experienced. So body is not conscious, the experiencer of the body is conscious. Then we go to what is it that is letting us experience the body? The energy, the flow of physiology inside. Yeah, that flow of physiological processes is what letting us know that the body exists. So maybe that is conscious and body is not conscious. So we are getting inner. Next, we are doing that, but unless my mind recognizes that this is there is a pain, there is a pinch, there is heartbeat, My mind is something when it is perceived, that is when we say it is conscious. That means the physiological processes is experienced by the mind. So mind is the experiencer, so that is consciousness, right? Next we say mind is something I can feel the pain, I can feel somewhere, but or I have emotions, I have thoughts, but only when I want to pay attention to that at the present moment using the intellect, then only I can see mind. I can see mind. So mind can be observed, and experiencer or observer is the intellect. So maybe the consciousness lies with the intellect. Mind is a substance being observed. Then we say, even at some time, intellect gets into a state of silence and comes back. So probably that silence has an inherent quality of being conscious, because at some place we know that we are having intellect. So it is about the observer or the experiencer needs a quality called consciousness. Does it make sense at the simplest form? I just wanted to know, does it make sense to others? Because I know consciousness is very differently explained by different philosophies. By science, it's put differently. Now there is a whole lot of science being developed. The science of consciousness. Is the entire universe conscious? Yeah, the Gaia theory and many other theories. But now there is a constant in University New York. They're doing a NYU, New York University. There have been a lot of consciousness study happening in many other parts. But here, does it make sense? Any element which can experience, or anything which can experience, the inherent quality required to experience something is consciousness. Simplest of things. Yes, but the living is one, but we have to see that for experiencing anything, what we need is consciousness. Without consciousness, nothing can be experienced. So in the element which let us experience things is consciousness. Yeah. But yes, as I see living, sometimes if I'm sleeping at a deepest sleep level, am I conscious? If you look at the Advaita philosophy, it says yes. Your consciousness is not having an object to be conscious of. That means consciousness, for being accepted as conscious or to experience something, it needs an object. If the object is not there, what will it experience? So it is absence of an object also be there when consciousness has nothing to experience other than experiencing itself. We are not getting into that deeper philosophy where we consciousness experiences consciousness, but consciousness for simplest of purpose, the element in us which can experience certain things. Does it make sense? Can we understand this? Any element in us which let us experience something is consciousness. Simplest, let us keep it that much. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. Now, heavy philosophies. Let's come back. that may turn off many of us. So let's come back. But anchoring to that state is important, and we can do it. We are doing it so many times in our practices. Now, coming to the how to work on this thing. When we are saying we have to manifest something in our life, what are the things that we want in life? What are those things what we want to have as goal, as purpose, as meaning in our life? Let's come straight to a very physical domain. From this abstract domain, let's come to the very physical domain. We are coming to the space of wealth, worth, and well-being. We, all of us, we want money. Who doesn't want money? Or who doesn't want wealth? When we say wealth, we need something to sustain ourselves and to secure our future and to achieve some of our things we aspire for. Nothing wrong in that. I want to have a home. I want to have a car. I want to travel around the world. All these things are fine. And for that, what I need is wealth. I have to take care of my body, my mind, or my health. I have to take care of my education, children's education. So all these are required, and yeah, There is a question by Tejashwini ji. We'll come back to this question. Just let us move with the process. So what we need is wealth. We also need some kind of worth. We should be feeling valued. When we say feeling valued, do you know where we actually feel valued? Value comes from the society. When somebody respects us, gives us some status, or loves us. So love and respect, regard, is what worth is, value is. I'm talking about self-worth. So we also want status, position, love from others. In family, we want a lot of loving relationships with others. And at the same time, we also expect that people respect us. So worth is important. For worth, we want to do something, show something to the world. We want to be competent. We want to be seen as capable, to be learned, to be knowledgeable, to be skilled, competent. All these things are required for worth. And we need to have health of the body and mind and the soul. So wealth, worth, and well-being are the three domains where we should set our goals. We should have goals actually. We should have some sort of purpose in there so that we can make our manifestation. So manifestation in these three areas. We want abundance in materialistic abundance. We want status abundance. We want health abundance. All these things are needed for us to be happy. Naturally, all of us, we want that. So how to do this, how to proceed this, proceed with this? First step number one, let us all take it down on our notepad. Step number one, we should not have one goal. We should have all these three goals in place. Please do write three goal statement. One in your wealth area. How much money, what are the things that you want in life? Please do elaborate that. If you recall, we do a practice, manifest your happiest version, where we create an autobiography where you have 9 different goals. So please have few goals in the wealth domain. Money you want, the experiences you want in the outer world, whether you want to travel the world, whether you want to have a car, a home, or things which are of materialistic nature, ornaments, whatever. Please have those goals with you. One, you have to write it down. What are those materialistic things that you want? Please do write. That's goal number one. Goal number two, writing is important. I'm repeating it. Writing is important. Goal number two is on your worth. When we say worth, you have to be worthy. And here the worthiness is how you are becoming more and more knowledgeable and loving, how you are connecting with people, enhancing your relationships, improving your relationships, and improving your capabilities in terms of your skills, in terms of your competence, in terms of connecting with other people, loving other people, respecting other people, connecting with other people. Worth comes from connect. Please do write. Worth is actually love and respect. L and R. Just remember this, L and R. L and R are the two things all of us we need for our worth. Love and respect, regard, reverence. Please do write that. L and R. L, R. These are the two things which are needed for our worth. Great. Please, all of us, let us all write LR, because this is what is going to give us worth. L and R. We have to have loving relationships and something in us so that people will regard us, respect us. And this respect primarily comes when we are in a contributing mode, when we are giving. Respects come when we start giving, at least our focus is on giving, and in the process we'll earn a lot. A lot of love and money will come when we are in a process of giving others more. Wonderful. And third is well-being. What is well-being? Our physical well-being. Let me tell you, so many of us, we are having difficulties in the mind, and mind and body are not different. They are one constituent, one thing. It is so intricately linked. If you do not take care of your body, mind will automatically be rot. If you are taking care of your mind, body will also be good. So body mind combination, the constituent one, we have to work with both body and mind. Exercise, doing active or maintaining an active lifestyle is what is very important for keeping our body fit. Taking proper diet, having timely diet, having proper sleep, all these are important. We have been talking about the hourly energizer. It's actually does a lot of good to our body and mind combined, the combination. And the mind, for the mind, meditation, positive thought, reflection, all these things are important. Even I have not come up with that. There is something called lucid dreaming. How we can dream in the dream and be aware how to be aware of the dream, or knowing that I'm dreaming. That also improves the quality of mind significantly. Sometime in future, I'll definitely come up with that in the weekly mind connects for sure. So how to take care of the body and mind so that we are happy. Now comes the interesting part. So we have 3 goals. Please do write all 3 goals. Please do write all 3 goals. What are, and goals can be from a 1 year to 3 year horizon. You can also have short-term goal like 3 months goal. Please do have 3 different goals. Yeah. Dr. Mishra is saying how to make it understandable to the younger mass. Let me tell you one thing, that younger mass or whosoever is our our next generation, they are in a different domain. I agree, I appreciate, because the mind world is becoming very fuzzy and digital. But nevertheless, they learn from us as well. First, let us do ourselves and make it so apparent that they get some clues. And at the same time, they are different individual. We have to honor their aspirations. At the same time, intervening in their life strategically is important. That's what we have to do. We'll come up with that as well. How to build that kind of relationship. Maybe parenting. We'll come up with one parenting session soon. So well-being. Now, having these 3 goals, let me give you a time. Yes, we are on track. Let me tell you one super hack here. Wealth, worth, and well-being. If you look at our lifestyle, if you look at most of the people on this planet, highest priority, highest time goes to wealth. If something is left, goes to worth. That means we want to get promotion, we want to have a better relationship with boss or family time. And if after that something is left, it goes to the well-being. This is in general, mostly on an average. This is what is the flow. That means if time is left, then we'll go to worth. If further time is left, we'll go to well-being. Is it, do you see this? Does it happen? Does it happen? First, most of our time is in the wealth domain. We go to office, we spend a lot of time, our mind is occupied there, tasks, boss, responsibilities, yes, this, that, this could not be done, the project could not be completed, there are so many phone calls coming from office. All these things are done first. In fact, I was conducting a program wherein I was taking a session on happiness in a finance program. Most of the people who were there had come to learn personal finance. And many of the people who were there, trainers or the teachers there, they were all finance wizards, giving personal finance thing. I was also going through some of the sessions. So what I learned from that and what I shared there, I'm sharing with you. The best of the topmost people, wealthiest people on this planet, do you know how do they manage their money? What do they do? The first thing they do, after they earn something, after every month's earning, what normal people do, they start doing the expenditures. That means I have to pay for this, I have to pay for that, I have to buy things. This is what normally people do. The most or the wealthiest people on this planet, including Warren Buffett and many others, their first thing is the moment they have earning, they will segregate, even if it is a small part, they will segregate something immediately to invest. So first investment, then they will keep some money for savings. Third part, they will expend. That means first investment, which is again first done. Some percentage, they have fixed that percentage or fixed the quantum that this much will be invested first. This much will be saved. Investment has higher risk, saving has less risk, and then they will have expenses. So see, it is not the amount, maybe expenses are more, but still investment priority is first. Similarly, in that session, I mentioned this. The most successful and most effective people on this planet, they start from the bottom. The other ones, they start from the top. The most effective people, even if they say every day I will have 1 hour for myself for well-being, that 1 hour is sacrosanct. That is first done, whatever may happen in the other 2 areas. So first, well-being. Today, we are all going to do that. In your goal, you say, if I segregate 1 hour for my well-being or half an hour for myself, whatever may be the case, whatever, unless it is an emergency or exigency or hospital or something, whatever other things, I will first do the well-being, then I'll go to worth. That means I will have time with my family. I will talk to my friends. I will read books. I will enrich myself by watching some of the positive videos, listening to some good podcast, but that has to be planned. It should not be binge watching, binge eating, or binge reading. Not binge eating or binge reading or binge listening. It has to be organized. I will tell you how to do that. So first, well-being. Second, worth. Then you may have 8 hours for the work, but still the 2 hours for well-being and worth are first segregated. It is non-negotiable. So when we are talking today, we start from the bottom. Our goal is starting from the bottom, and we want to manifest it. How to manifest, I'm coming to that. So now how we'll set goal, that is number 1. Yes. Yeah, I thought I little confused you. Yes, investment and asset, I just gave an analogy that in investment, in that domain, people who are very rich, wealthy people, they do this way. So in our investment, in our happiness denomination, our investment is well-being, our savings is worth, our expense is wealth. Whatever time we are giving to, I thought, let me clarify. Thank you for putting that question. It will be clearing lot many other people's doubt. I just took that cue from there as an example. Then I said, if this is what wealthiest people do, this is what most effective people do, happiest people do. What they do, they first invest in well-being, then they invest in worth, then they give time to the wealth. Yeah. Is it clear? I just want to see or listen to all of you. Is it clear? Please write clear. Please write clear, all of you. Please do write clear. Clear. Great. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Thanks. I know all of us here are brilliant people. All of them have been there for a long time. Some of you are new, yes. Some of you are for the first time, maybe. Yeah. I think people like Pranav Roy ji, people like Amit Kumar ji, they have been there for more than a year. I think we have already crossed 1 year. We should have the anniversary. Yeah, many like almost more than 6 months, 7 months. They're there. Some of them. Thanks. So now we are coming to the next level. Once we have the goals, what we are doing, I'm not spending much time here. We have discussed a lot of time. What we are doing is, what is it we have to do every day and every week for the goal? Like for physical fitness, exercise, mental fitness, meditation. For wealth area, I have to do certain planning. I have to do certain visualization. I have to have some creativity. I have to, again, in learning area, maybe I have to spend some time on books or spend some time with family members. So I have to break it up to daily routine, right? So now how to do that daily routine? Let's get in. I have 2 things to share here. I call it power of 168 and conscious 64 practice. Power of 168 and conscious 64 practice. Anyone here can guess what is this 168? Why this 168 number is so interesting? What is the significance about the number 168? Quickly, if some of you can just think, what is this 168? Then we'll talk about power of 168. Double 64? No, that's not 128. That is 128. 168 is a very interesting number. All of us, we experience that. All of us, we know that. 168 is a very interesting number, and many times we see it on TV and all. 16-hour works, 8 hours sleep. That is 24 hours. Very close. Ravi Shankarji is doing a great job out there. 7 days. Somebody, Sitakanji has already mentioned 7 days. 24 by 7. Absolutely. Neerajji. Yes, 16 hours, 8 plus 8 into 7. So in a week, we have 168 hours. We call it the power of 168. What we are going to do is break it up to hours. See what is the investment of your time. How much time you are sleeping? Maybe 8 hours. Multiply 8 into 7, around 56 hours. Take it out. Balance 112 hours. What are you doing? Do you have a record of that? How much time you are spending on reading books? How much time you are spending on on planning things? How much time you are spending on firefighting? Going to office and doing everything, this, that, and many complex things, meetings and all. How many times you are spending on meetings can be good research. So power of 168 is see that how your week is going and what is as is. When I say it is today, after this session, please make a list of things you are doing in a week in general and find out what percentage of it is going to wealth, what percentage of it is going to worth, what percentage of it is going to well-being. Let's look at that. That's number one. Now we have to rearrange this. We cannot stay with that. I'm sure we have to improve upon that. Most of us, we can do it. For that, we do a practice called conscious 64 practice. Now, again, I'm going to give you a quick idea about this and rest of the things. In fact, I'll also give the little internal quantum aspect of it, give a glimpse about it. And next week in part 2, we are going to go in more detail about that. Conscious 64 practice is like this. We have to make our day conscious so that we can make our manifestation conscious, make our outcomes conscious. How to do it? We have some time to sleep. Yeah, let's take 16 hours we have in the waking time and break it up to 64 quadrants. That means 15 minutes, right from the time we are getting up at 6 till we go to bed, let's say at 10. So 64, it may vary for you. If you are sleeping for 6 hours, you may have a different in that number, but at least make 64. So 15-minute slots, make it, and try to first fill in the well-being parts. Then we'll fill in the worth parts. Then we'll fill in the wealth parts. Wealth also includes our professional job, our business, time we are spending to earn our livelihood. Yeah. So we have to pack it up with 15 minutes. Sometimes what happens, you will have a meeting of, let's say, 4 quadrants, 1 hour meeting. So you take 4 15-minute slot. But this we will do in general. So maybe office hours, you can have some slots that in general, I'll have this many quadrants for my creative thinking, these many quadrants for running the routine things, these many quadrants for meeting, these many quadrants for something else. So what we are doing here, do you get it? What I want to convey? Are you getting it? What do I want to convey? I'm saying to create a 64-minute or 64 slot thing. In that slot, you have to fill up things which you want to do in order to achieve your 3 goals: wealth, worth, and well-being. Wealth, worth, and well-being, you have to fill it up. See how your 64 are 64 quadrants. That means let's say that I get up at 6. So 6 to 6:15, brushing my teeth, it will go as part of well-being. Then 6:15 to 6:30, I'll have a cup of tea maybe, well-being, or have a glass of lemon juice, well-being. 6:30 to 7, 2 quadrants, let's for walking, so well-being. Then 7 to 7:30, let's say meditation, well-being. Yeah, I'm just giving you a random way. 7:30 to 8, maybe taking bath. Again, we can take it as well-being. Then 8 to 8:30, spending some time with wife and children and have breakfast together. You can take it as worth, because you are having a family bonding, family time. So similarly, you have to see that every 15 minutes, what is it that is being filled in that 15 minutes? Does it make sense? Can you get it? Are you getting it? Yeah, Sitakanji was also mentioning last time that he's already using this 64 power, conscious 64 power. It's really empowering. So got it? Yes. Yes. Others, just let me know so that I otherwise I'll explain it again. Yeah. Sure. Sure. I believe all of us, we are getting it. 64 is the number of slots. So if, since we have 16 hours of waking time, we are not planning anything for the sleep time. So 16 hours of waking time. In every hour, we have 4 quadrants of 15 minutes each. So 16 multiplied by 4 is 64. That's what is 64. That's what is Jitesh ji is asking. Right? Great. Let's move on. I believe now we are clear. We will know where. Yes, we will have a clarity on where draining is happening. True, true, true. Where we are being governed by unknown forces. Yeah. Initially, we need to prepare the slot. Then we will implement. Then we'll go to the third thing. First, we'll prepare that these are the things that I will do. Sankalpa. There is a powerful word in Sanskrit. Sankalpa is where we are having that resolve that we are going to do this. A routine is a resolve. Yes, music. Absolutely, absolutely. Great to see that being a doctor, you are also a music lover. So let's move on. These are the two things I believe we understood. This part and the previous part, we will be taking up next week in the part 2, submitting to the quantum field using certain internal processes, wherein we do a deeper visualization. Last week also I had given a hint how to do certain visualization and submitting into the quantum field. What is the significance? Is it scientific, or is it something mystical, or something kind of something which we cannot take as science? Let me give the scientific aspect of it. Whether you know or not, every impression, everything that happens outside and inside is somewhere captured by different parts of the brain in ourselves. There is a part called basal ganglia, if you have heard of this term. Basal ganglia, stratum. There are few parts in the brain who are actually, they keep information even which we are not conscious of. And these information sometimes guide ourselves unknowingly. Just let me give you an example. Sometime you are meeting somebody and you like that person, you don't know for what, or you believe. It happened with me a lot of time till I knew about something called NLP and some of the techniques of NLP. I was conducting few of the interviews when I was in the organization, interviews for the new recruits, new people. Sometime I would feel that this person is giving everything right. He's saying, I've done this, done that, so much of relevant experience he has, but somewhere inside I would have a sense, somewhere I feel he is not actually telling the truth. I did not know for what reason. Does it happen with most of us? Sometimes we feel our gut feeling, our intuition tell us something is wrong out there, and most of the time, many of the times we see that yes, that's right. Yeah, it happens. Actually, what happens, there are certain elements, the information is stored and that information is not consciously accessible. So we do not know that, but those information govern us a lot. That means in spite of I know that this person is telling all the questions, answering all the questions, but somewhere I can say that probably he is not the appropriate candidate. The last judgment would say, no, 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 check, something going wrong. Then you ask another question, you'll quickly find out that yes, he was bluffing. It happens in many, many cases. So this intuition is actually not something spooky kind of thing. It's not something weird. There is some intelligence inside which stores things. Even our gut, that's why we say gut feeling. A lot of neurons out there in the gut, which has a very strong connection with basal ganglia and different parts of the brain, which gives an immediate sense that something wrong, boss. Check once more. Something going to happen. You have some intuition sometime. Now, how to improve that? Not just that. How to create that internal environment where intuitively we know that we are going to do it and get it. We know which is the right path, which is not the right path to take. So to make that happen, we have to submit this to the deepest level where automatically we have some sort of idea how to proceed through the process, what to do, what not to do, how to make it absolutely, I would not say foolproof, but we know that we are doing the right thing. We are getting ideas appropriately. At the same time, the subconscious is strongly getting a suggestion, this is what I'm going to get. This is what I'm going to move towards. When we look at the nervous system, especially the limbic system, V.S. Ramchandran puts it beautifully. In his book, The Telltale Brain, he talks about something called the salience landscape. Our created priority in the brain, creates or manifests our reality. When we do that, our limbic system starts searching for that. Very, very easy thing to appreciate what it says. The moment you say, I remember when I bought my car last time, the second car I bought a Honda City red color. That's what I was thinking. I buy a Honda City red color. When I was at that time, I found so many Honda City cars were visible to me. And last year I was, my house got painted. I was thinking of few colors. Will this light blue color look good? Everywhere I went, I searched for blue and blue was visible everywhere. Does it happen with all of us? Does it happen with us? Yes. Right. It happens. The moment we set a priority, our attention, our awareness, even our internal mechanism to make it happen, they get aligned. So that is the reason why we make a subconscious alignment. And here it's even a quantum alignment. The consciousness and energy we are aligning using certain techniques. We will talk about certain techniques next time when we'll change our internal state of being and submit our goals and our processes. And the most important thing, which I will reveal next time, our identity. When I say I am a person who is fit, who is absolutely calm in mind, who is loving and caring and giving so people respect me, I'm a person who is having material abundance. When I believe in that identity, I start behaving in that fashion. So identity redesign is super powerful. Here again, I recall the book Atomic Habit. Atomic Habit by James Clear. Again, it has been shared multiple times on our WhatsApp group. Please do read this book. This is part of our course curriculum also, Atomic Habit. So please do read Atomic Habit, where James Clear says, one, you need to have goal vision. You need to have the process vision. But most importantly, you need to have the identity vision. That's what we are doing in our quantum transformation. We have identity which can transform our life, transform our wealth, transform our worth, transform our well-being. The quantum field accession is for identity redesign. Internally, we change ourselves, become that. That's what we are doing here. With this, I will stop sharing the screen for the moment. And I would love to hear from some of you. Yes, we are just 1 hour, but still maybe few questions if you want to share something. People like Sitakanji, Pranabji, Avijitji, who are already practicing, or some people who are new, they can put their questions. I can see Jitesh ji, JC Reddy ji, Ravi Shankar ji out there. So many. Vinita ji is there. Long time we have been together. Dr. Rajiv is there. So please feel free to raise your hand. I'll ask you to unmute. There is a question by Jitesh ji. Yes, you can also put your question on the chat box, or you can ask to unmute so that Sindhura ji has just raised the hand. I'll just unmute after looking at the question here. Few questions. The moment we make a choice, you tend to see the same multiple times. Absolutely, Jitesh. Wanted to go to a Mantralaya temple. Mantralaya temple. Raghavendra Swami photo I saw. Yes. True. Absolutely. Is identity manifestation equal to the law of attraction? Yes and no. Law of attraction is it has a huge aspect. It is powerful, but law of attraction primarily go towards more of the goal and process. Identity is, I have not seen anybody talking about identity even in the book of Secret. It is mentioned out there, but becoming that in the present, but again it is little exterior, wherein in identity we are looking at our image. You remember self-image, self-efficacy, and self-love or self-esteem. Yes, you can say it's an extension of law of attraction. Some of the teachers of law of attraction, they do this as well. But at the beginning, you'll find there is some dissonance. Now it has been integrated probably. Yes. How to create identity in subconscious? It's a continual practice. As I said, 3 things we do: visualization, deep affirmation, and kinesthetic anchoring. Constant practice, and appropriate practice can even change our identity in days and weeks, not even in months. And one more thing, we need to constantly be in this mold. What happens? Let's say we are listening to this and we are feeling so energetic and motivated. Next moment, something comes up, life takes over. Some small thing here, somebody criticized, somebody asked for something, and some person came whom we do not like. Suddenly we begin, everything fizzles out. So constantly be on this track is also important. Constantly suggesting your subconscious about that is important. So keep yourself in that kind of things. Read those books, watch those kind of programs, focus on those kind of training. Yes. To get manifestation stage, it takes time because fear, barricade. True, absolutely. These are blocks. Fear, apprehensions, these are blocks. These needs to be cleared in some way. These needs to be done with a lot of internal cleansing processes. And whatever practices we are doing in the morning, I am not sure whether Ravi Shankar ji is there or not, but the practice also is towards cleansing and making ourselves, what we do at the end of it, I'm absolutely secured and safe in a sanctuary of love and compassion. And because the companion of mind is the energy and consciousness, which is incredible and super powerful. We have to constantly tell our subconscious about that. Consistency is the key. Absolutely. Partha Pratimji has been an extraordinary student, extraordinary learner and teacher. What is that element which experience things? Yash Rathiji. Intuitively, what is that element that experiences things? That is what is consciousness. So it is very intuitive. In fact, at some level, this is the subject. So you can never indicate it. It is like my eyes will never be able to indicate it. So how do I know that I have eyes? Because I can see. I have eyes because I can see. So I am conscious because I experience things. It has to put it that way. The indicator is my eyes are there because I can see. Even I close my eyes at some intuitive level, I know that I have eyesight. Similarly, the consciousness is, we get the consciousness by looking at objects. So objects are indicator that I have consciousness. That is what is letting me experience things. So experiencer is the consciousness. How you know what is it consciousness? You have to do it meditative in a typical way, especially 5 sheath practice that we have done. Please go through that practice. You will have some clue about it. How to avoid procrastination. Yes. Could you elaborate more on the kinesthetic anchoring and how to activate it at alpha state? In fact, kinesthetic anchoring, we have done a couple of sessions very recently on vagus nerve activation. 2 sessions, I think last to last weekly mind connect and the previous one. We had 2 back-to-back kinesthetic anchoring, especially with regard to vagus nerve. And we experienced how by putting our hands in different direction, our salivation happens, our heart rate changes, how the breath changing immediately changes the heart rate. So those are kinesthetic anchoring. I'm not sure whether you were there or not, but just visit those. You will be finding they're already uploaded in the platform. Yeah, Jitesh ji is asking, will you be completely eliminating negative thoughts? Should we be? Sometimes we need negative thoughts because we need to prepare for the future at some level, but it has to be appropriate. Negative thoughts should not be having trails. I said we should not have trails of it. It should not have a residual emotion and memory. What is it? That means negative thought came immediately that I am having a chest pain. That means, is it heart attack? I will go to the doctor, check it. Doctor says everything is okay. Come back, be positive. Then every moment there is something happening, I feel heart attack, that's a problem. So having negative thought about things which we should pay attention to is fine and we should have. There is a snake, we should be afraid of it. But imaginary negative thoughts is what we should come out of. Trails which we should come out of. More in the present moment, if negativity is coming, that is okay. But negativity is pertaining to the past, negativity is imaginary pertaining to the future are not appropriate. Future, some of the things we should be prepared for. That's okay, right? True. Yes, negative thoughts have to be there, but it should not be a trail. It should not be pervading our consciousness all the time. 3-2-1 is in 3-2-1 practice that we did. It is actually to get to the state quickly. 3, we relax our body. 2, relax our mind. 1, appreciate the existence of, we see the incredible energy and consciousness. 0, we immerse in it. We lose ourselves. That's what is the 3-2-1 practice. I think you are hinting at that. We did the practice, I think, day before yesterday in the morning. Yeah. Let me now unmute few of the people who have already raised hands. Can I just see who are they? Then I'll again come back to the. I can see first Sindhu Raji. I just ask you to unmute. You can unmute and speak, please. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, I came to know about you just 3 days back.
Okay.
When I enrolled with this program. Yesterday and today I practiced alpha state meditation. As I'm practicing Sudarshan Kriya as well with Gurudev Ravi Shankar Guruji. So I did body scanning and breath watch and also counting of breath. That is 3 times. And then I went into that awareness state. But the next process is a little bit, confusing. So I found it confusing that envisioning of creative thoughts, deep affirmation, and also kinesthetic, whatever. I don't know what it is.
Actually, these are in more detail. Will we delve into it? How to make that vision clear? So
yes,
how to bring in that clarity? It needs practice. Few of the quick practices we can do that. Let's close our eyes. We watch whatever there in front. Close our eyes and see them as if we are seeing in reality. Yeah. So holding those things in our mind, ability to create a vision is what needs to practice. There are certain steps, and in the course itself, we have put it how to improve the creative and visioning ability. Right. Yeah, are you there? Yeah, Germany Olympics is right. You remembered how brilliantly they were, taken through that vision, envisioning with guidance. True. So one more hand was raised. I think that's gone. It's no more there. Anyone else who would like to speak? Yeah, it is there. I mean, the name is not appearing. It's a phone number. So if you can just please unmute yourself, and I've asked you to unmute. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. This is Somnath, sir. Somnath Chakraborty.
Okay, Somnath ji. Acha. Okay. Good to see you after some time. Yes.
Sir, one thing I like to share with you, sir. All the rationalities, okay. Suppose it gone when I got anxiety, okay, anxiety attack, panic attack, okay.
Right.
So what? So that is my what to do at that time. That is my first question.
Right.
Second question, suppose, for example, suppose today I have purchased a book, okay. For example, that is related with finance, okay. And when I found this book is very thick to read, okay, I start feeling anxiety. Now, in that case, what I'll do?
Okay. So yeah, I'll also be. I think you are still getting a lot of help from our mentor. Are you in touch with him?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great.
Sitakanji, sir.
Sitakanji, I think he's with you. And Sitakanji has another
very much,
small task. I want you to please come out of all these things. As Sitakanji has been so benevolent, extending his help to others. I also
really
requesting for one more help, but nevertheless, one is initially start the 5A practice. Have you started 5A practice, and has it given you some result?
No, sir. Just on.
Not tried?
No, sir. I did not try.
I have actually 5A practice many times we have done. Now I have curated a proper course for it, which will be available to all the members, old members and the new people who are joining. So structured it so that it's already done few times earlier, but I thought I'll put it in proper organized manner so that you can practice it appropriately. Please go through the, I think 5A practice was conducted on 3rd of January morning practice.
Okay, sir. I'll collect from
yes,
Sitakanji.
I think I would request Sitakanji also if you can share the 5A practice. In that week, we have done the 5A practice, but that has been now curated. It will be curated and it's there as a course already. So you can avail of that and make yourself free of the challenges. That's one. Number two, about the thick books that you are reading. Before you get on to the book, you have to do some kind of practice. Let me give you this idea. Don't touch the book. You first sit down. You say, I am just planning to read 10 pages. I will not even read 11th page today, whatever it may be. And only 10 page, whether the book is completed, not completed, I don't mind. I will complete 10 pages. I would urge you to do that 64 practice, right? Put 10 pages of reading in 3 slots, maybe 45 minutes. Yeah, 45 minutes. This time to this time only I will read book, and I will not do anything else, or I will not go beyond the 10th page. So I have just a task of reading 10 pages, or you choose one topic, one chapter. I will read only one chapter, and then you go to the book, just pick it up, saying no matter, no worries however thick may be this book, I'm not going to read it completely. I'm just going to read one chapter, and for that I have 45 minutes slots book. I'll just go and read it. Chapter over, book over, get back. Get on to the next 15 minutes, right? Try out this. And anxieties, please try out the 5A formula. I'm sure Sitakanji will share that with you as well. And I'm sure you'll get a lot of it.
Okay, sir. Now, sir, just
there is a good point coming in. Audiobooks are available, but since I understand what Somnath ji is saying, it is finance books which are of technical nature, where a lot of diagrams and other things, graphs and other things would be required. So that's the reason probably he would have to read the books. But there's a good suggestion. You can choose to read, like Sindhura ji is saying, audiobooks are available. You can choose to read that. Yeah, lovely. Shaji is saying is eat elephant piece by piece. That's exactly what I was saying. So don't start thinking about the elephant. Just think about a small chunk of it, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Partha Pratim ji is also a brilliant mentor. He can also be of help to many of you if you want to connect to him. Neeraj is Stop Panic Attacks course available. Stopping panic attack, again 5A I recommend. In the now the mind suffering course, I have, although it was a little scattered, now it is being organized. It is organized this week. All of you who are joining and all of you who have joined will have the new organized course of freedom from mind suffering. And so 5A has been organized in that. Yes, I also, as Ravi Shankar ji is saying, that sometimes reading the book has got better impact than audiobooks. But nowadays, I also sometimes go for audiobooks if the voice and the rhythm is good. So great. I believe we are almost like more than 1 hour 15 minutes today. If no more questions, no more queries, we are all, I think we have all gone through a good session, understanding. And so how was the understanding? How was the applicability and implementability of the things that we discussed? I want all of you to get started immediately. Power of 168, conscious 64 blocks. Please do start and do this www mapping on your thing, and let's see how we can improve upon that. How did you like the session? How do you think, more than liking the session, how can you implement in your life? I want that commitment. Just say, I can apply. ICA, if you can write, then that's the best thing. I don't know whether it was excellent session. Thank you so much. ICA. That's more important than we apply in our life and change ourselves. That's important. Great. Commit yourself. Great. Wonderful. Brilliant. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I urge all of you to please be committed to yourself. Be committed to yourself. We all know on this journey, we are going to manifest our happiest version by changing our internal programs. That's within our power, within our consciousness. We will do it. Thank you very much. My sincere gratitude for all your presence. And you don't know how much you give me energy and what kind of uh, well-being I'm getting from all of you for all your presence, and feeling so much vibrant because of your presence. Thank you so much. Sincere gratitude once again. Look forward to see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the session at 7. Please share your questions if you have in the requisite forms. We will share the form today. It's already there last week also. So please share your challenges or problems that you have. Tomorrow we are going to focus on those specific personal issues, and it will be my pleasure, privilege to give some idea which can be of help in your life. Thank you very much. God bless all of us. Let's manifest our happiest version. Thank you and good night.